What's cooking, guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm making this easy sweet and sour salmon recipe. I'm making my own homemade sweet and sour sauce, and the salmon is cooked perfectly in the oven. So stay tuned for the recipe. Do consider subscribing if you're new here and you'd like to join the foodie family, and also hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And now let's get cooking. So let's start with the sweet and sour sauce, or the marinade, first. And you can use this sauce for any type of meat of your choice instead of salmon. In a bowl or a cup, you want to mix some soy sauce. I'm estimating about a quarter cup or so. You can change any of these amounts to suit the quantity of food you're making. Then I have some sriracha, and I'm adding in about a tablespoon, but you can adjust according to your spice levels. I have 1 tablespoon of white vinegar here. You can also use rice vinegar. Then I have red chili flakes. I'm adding to my taste. About half a teaspoon is sufficient, but you can adjust to your spice levels again. And then I have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar here. You can use light or dark brown sugar. Then I have 4 to 5 garlic cloves here that I minced, but you can also finely chop them. Then I have half a teaspoon of cornstarch here to thicken the sauce, and you can also use flour instead. And then with a whisk, you want to combine this till most of the cornstarch lumps are dissolved, as well as the sugar with the other liquids. And we're going to be cooking this sauce on medium-high heat in a small saucepan. You want to add the whole sauce mixture we just made into the saucepan to thicken up the sauce, and also to cook the cornstarch that we added. You never want to eat raw or uncooked cornstarch, or flour for that matter. And just keep mixing this with a fork or whisk as it thickens and comes to a boil. It is also going to get shiny and become like a glaze. This sweet and sour sauce is so easy to make at home. You won't need to buy any of the store-bought ones anymore, especially because we don't always know what they add in those sauces. And once this comes to a rolling boil like this, you can take it off the heat and prepare the salmon fillets while this cools down. Now let's turn the oven to the broil mode, or even 450 degrees Fahrenheit is fine. And here I have a baking sheet lined with aluminum foil for ease of cleaning afterwards, but also for another trick that I'll show you soon. I have a good amount of salmon fillets here that I cleaned already. It looks like a lot because this is dinner plus my lunch for work. And you just want to use a paper towel to pat the salmon dry before we brush it with the sauce that we made. And here I have my beautiful homemade sweet and sour glaze that I'll brush on top of each fillet. You don't need to season the salmon separately because the sauce already has all the flavors the salmon will need. You want to gently brush the sauce and give it one even coat for now. And we will use this to coat the salmon throughout the cooking process, which you'll see in a minute. Then just put this in the oven that was turned on the broil mode to cook it for just 5 minutes for now. And then after 5 minutes, I'm going to pull this out and brush the glaze again on it. I did a total of 3 coats on the salmon and kept putting it back in the oven after each glazing process so that it continues to cook and get caramelized on the top, and just baked it until it was fully cooked. Then after about 20 minutes in the oven, take this out, and you can see how beautifully the homemade marinade has caramelized and given the salmon a glaze that is such a beautiful color. And I use the foil on the baking sheet every time I cook salmon so that when it's cooked, the salmon skin gets stuck to the foil, and with a spatula, the salmon comes off so clean and perfect to serve for picky eaters who don't like the salmon skin like myself. This trick works every single time and is also great for an easy cleanup after cooking, especially on busy weeknights when cleanup is the last thing you want to do. And then I put the salmon in a serving plate here, and I had some sauce left over, to which I added some water and I reheated the sauce, and I'm just going to spoon that on top of the salmon to finish it off, and also to add a little extra sweet and sour sauce on top of it. And to garnish this salmon, I have some sesame seeds here which makes this salmon look so official. And I also have some of the green parts of the scallion that I thinly sliced, and I'm just going to sprinkle those on top to add a green contrast to the deep rich color of the sweet and sour salmon. And here's my sweet and sour salmon, guys. The homemade sweet and sour sauce works perfectly, not just as a sauce, but also as a marinade for all types of meats of your choice. And this serves really well with some fried rice, some broccoli or veggies of your choice, or even on its own because it truly is so delicious. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my sweet and sour salmon recipe. If you did, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always appreciate your support, guys. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves.